Alright, welcome to another video, boys. In today's video we're going to be going over everything that I hate about my Toyota Supra. So for those of you guys that are new to the channel, I'm just going to give you a quick run over of the car. So yeah, basically let's start with the fact that it's a 93 model, JZA80 Supra. It is the RZ model, so that means that it does come factory with the 2JZ GT engine, which is the twin turbo 2JZ engine. RZs did come automatic and a manual. This is a manual version, so that comes with the V160 gearbox in the early models. Because it is genuine RZ, it does come with a B03B Diff as well, which has a 220mm ring gear instead of the 200mm ring gear, which basically makes it a stronger diff. So short little backstory of the car. I did buy it pre-COVID, which the prices definitely were cheaper. However, I did buy it pre-COVID at the point where America was just able to get a hold of the cars. So yeah, it still did cost me a fair bit of money for the time. However, I did pay, I guess, under market value at the time for the car as well. I did negotiate on the fact that it definitely isn't the cleanest example. So yeah, I mean, we're going to go over basically everything in a second anyway. But yeah, basically the RZ model in the manual is, I guess, the model that you want. The only way that you can go sort of higher spec from here is if you buy one of the newer models with the VVTi engine. They've got like an updated front end, they've got an updated interior, they've got a V161 gearbox instead. They don't, however, have the B03B diff. They have an A series diff, but yeah. Anyway, guys, let's get into it, and I'll show you everything that I hate about my Supra. Oh, and there's a few of you guys that would argue that a GZ Aero Top, which is the twin turbo, factory twin turbo Aero Top version, is better. Hey, each their own, whether you like Aero Tops or hard tops, they're all pretty cool. The fact that they come factory turbo is cool. So anyway, let's get into it. I thought I'd quickly mention too, guys, the plan for this build is to go like OEM plus. My red Supra has basically a front mount intercooler, an exhaust from the cat back, and runs a boost controller, 15 pounds of boost. Probably only makes like 300 horsepower or something like that. The car behind me with the setup with the 20 psi spring and all that kind of stuff did actually make 375 on the dyno. So I will be going backwards, but I mean, hey, 300 horsepower, 15 pounds of boost, so I don't have to worry about any leaks. The car drives mint. For now, you know, I just want to get out to cruises, go for drives with mates and stuff like that, go for solo drives. So yeah, that's the plan for now. Righty, boys, let's start with the front of the car. Where do I start? So basically, the front bar on this car is off of a Series 2 car. Funny enough, my neighbour across the road actually did give me this front bar for free, which is cool because, yeah, brand new front bar, I guess complete, could cost you up to anywhere, I don't know, 600 AUD or something, probably for a complete bar. I think I've seen them for 600-700. So the difference between the Series 1 and Series 2 bars basically is Series 2 bar has this front sort of splitter piece in the front there. I actually think that's kind of cool. Series 2 normally have a different front indicator, has an indicator and a parker all in one instead of being in the headlight. And yeah, Series 1 bar does not have this little reflector here on the side, sorry, indicator on the side. And yeah, so it would be cooler if it did have a Series 2 front bar, but hey, it was free. It wasn't damaged like the original bar that I had, which I'll show you here as well. So yeah, it's a positive and a negative. I would prefer a Series 1 front bar though. Number 2, headlights. These headlights here are a Series 1 headlight, which, so the car is a Series 1, but they normally do have a chrome backing, which does flake on the inside of them when they do get old. So this one's actually been pulled apart, which I pulled apart in a previous video, painted black, and the background's been painted black, and then the headlight's been re-cleared as well. So definitely look cleaner than what it did. But yeah, hey, not really my favorite option. I would prefer really mint Series 1 lights, or I do have some new Series 2 lights, but hey, if this car could be like OEM all Series 1, I would prefer that. So alright guys, so just so you know, we do have a lot to cover in this video. There's a lot of things I don't like about this car. So yeah, if you want to stay for the ride, please like, comment and subscribe if you could. Yeah, if you like what you see anyway. So let's get it back into it. Alright, so more with the front end that I don't like. So there is this horn right here. The fact that it's not OEM kind of annoys me. It's definitely not an OEM spot, and that is not an OEM bracket. So yeah, normally what's hiding down in here is the coolant overflow bottle, which comes from here, like line wraps around and sits in here. There's an OEM cooling panel that goes in here as well that I guess probably diverts air to where it needs to be. So yeah, it actually makes it look a lot tidier up here. Some people would put cooling panels up the top there. I don't really like that, so yeah, don't like that. Another thing that really was noticeable here is that, so the aftermarket radiator doesn't bother me, but these brackets here, it's some sort of like aluminium custom thing that they look like they're Tech screws. Thank God that they're not. But yeah, so I'm going to be getting OEM brackets for that as well. Look, yeah, just to sort of tidy it up for that OEM look. Underneath the bonnet here, you can see that there is no bonnet pad. We'll get to the top of the bonnet in a second, because there also is a big gaping hole right there. But yeah, so yeah, the fact there's no bonnet pad there does annoy me. Alrighty, next thing. This guy here, fuse box cover lid. It's been painted black, scratched, it's bad. I want an OEM one. You can buy them new, so I am going to buy one on the way from Japan. Alright, so next thing that really catches my eye here is the fuel pressure regulator, AEM. It's got some sort of weird ass bracket on there. As you can see here, the fuel lines to it are everywhere, and yeah, look, even though that it is probably beneficial to the car, I don't really like it. Like I said, I am going back to factory, so I will be putting a factory fuel pressure regulator on the vehicle, just to sort of tie it up for now, and yeah, I'll revert it all back if I don't like it. So where are we next? Alrighty, so this intake manifold here, blue hoses, hey, could it be black? I don't know, it doesn't really matter, it doesn't really worry me too much. However, this here, as you can see, previous owner has tried to modify the intake manifold. So yeah, normally there is a traction control butterfly here, and yeah, that's been removed. What else has been removed on here? There's normally an ETCS logo here, which I do have on the way from Japan. So yeah, another part that is missing, there is a little bracket here, the upper manifold stay that connects from the head here to the actual manifold. That is missing as well. However, my friend Peach did give me one, which is awesome. Thank you so much, Peach. It means a lot. It's the smallest part. They are discontinued, but hey, man, it means a lot. Thank you. Good news is that I have actually gotten another intake manifold. Got that guy from Japan. It is super duper clean, and it's super duper complete. So there's a lot of things on the intake side, I guess, that need to be bolted on and like need to have all the lines ran to suit the proper twin turbo activation. So yeah, so I've pretty much got all of it. There's just a couple of hoses left. So yeah. Unfortunately, as you can see here, this bit here was welded up as well, so it wasn't just a throttle body that was welded up, it was bits of the actual surge tank itself. So yeah, hey, could be reused, but there are parts that do need to bolt to that, so hey, lucky that I do have a new one. Oh yeah, I thought I'd mention as well, so yeah, on the intake side, not only is there vacuum lines for the turbos and stuff, there's a heap of different lines for the fuel pressure regulator, there's a fuel dampener in there as well. What else is there? There's coolant hoses that run to the throttle body. They run through the throttle body and the idle air control valve. So yeah, there's a fair bit going on down there. I've accumulated most of it, but yeah, there is a few bits I've still got to get from Japan. So, another really obvious bit: white radiator hoses. 1, 2. Definitely don't like those. We're going to be getting rid of those. I do have OEM ones for the vehicle. Look, that bottom one's actually started leaking already, and a friend of mine has had problem with these eBay G Plus hoses before of them actually leaking. Hey, yeah, you can tighten it up, but anyway, they're white, they're ugly, I don't like them. This guy here has been welded up and made up for the car with a big ass super cheap auto like filter that normally does sit there. Really don't like that, so I'm going to be buying the OEM piping and an Apexi filter to go in there and tidy that all up. Alrighty, this bit's going to be really hard to film, but if you see right down in here, I'm going to try and get a shot of that. Look at those welds, absolutely disgusting. So basically that is the Alright, so basically that is a video of the cast exhaust manifold that has been welded up with its own sort of, not really a dump pipe, but hey, there is a 40mm wastegate down there that has been welded to the cast manifold. Has a 20-pound string in it. Are these turbos meant to run 20 pound? Absolutely not if they are stock JDM turbos. So good news is I have a clean twin turbo setup with all the piping, all the factory exhaust bits, the vacuum lines and everything as well, so that's going to be being put on the car as well. So yeah, just glad that I could find it. Just quickly as well, guys, a couple of quick facts for the Americans, or probably some of the Australians, some of the younger guys watching the channel. Basically, like at the moment there's a whole, it's at a Supra meme that's been going around for a while now, and and everyone thinks, oh, Supras make 1,000 horsepower and they're worth hundreds of thousands of dollars because they're just, oh, I watch Fast and the Furious and that's the whole reason for the price rise and blah blah blah. Look, to tell you it straight, back in like what, I can't speak for before 2011 kind of deal. Don't forget we were in the GFC in 2011 as well. But yeah, so that period between 2011 to 2016, these cars were absolutely worthless. Over here, like they were basically just bogan chariots or redneck chariots. There was a very select few people that actually liked Supras. The general consensus was that Supras are big and ugly and heavy. Some people even pulled the motors out, the GT motors, to put into engine swaps. So that's how much people actually like them. My story behind it, I actually bought my Auto RZ super duper cheap back then when, so I think an Auto RZ you could buy for like 10k AUD. Some people even bought them for 5. A manual one with 12 to 20 grand, like 10 to 20k. Pretty sure the previous owner of mine only paid 12 grand to his, so 12,000 AUD. So yeah, the whole idea that everybody loved them and and they're, oh, it's this hero car and all that kind of stuff. There was a point here in Australia where people genuinely did not give a shit about them, except for a minority. So yeah, anyway, that's my little rant. Not to mention that an R34 GDR, there was apparently at a point in time when you could buy one for 30,000 AUD. I still remember in 2016 when I bought my S15. An S15 was a crap one for 12k. An R32 GDR then was like 12 grand as well. Yeah, I could have bought that R34 for 45,000 AUD, and it had like N1 turbos and a list of stuff on it. So yeah, that's my little rant there about the price of JDM cars and whether they are worth it or whether they're not. And don't get me wrong, when I jumped in my Supra after I first bought it, I was like, no, engine can't come out of this car. I'm keeping the car the way it is, and staying like this forever, and I'm going to keep it forever. So, end rant. So yeah, in saying that, so that's why like some of the mods you would have seen on this car, you would have thought, for such an expensive car, why would you do that, to something so nice or something so expensive? Well, it's the whole reason. They weren't expensive. Like people were learning to modify, their Japanese cars. They were literally learning on the go. People weren't really bringing their cars to shops. They were trying to do it themselves and that kind of thing. So yeah. Kind of makes sense, doesn't it? Alrighty, so OEM wheels. Do I like them? Yes, I actually bought these OEM wheels. Actually bought them because they were a set of 8-inch fronts and 9-inch rears. You normally only find them in a sort of complete round set of 8s. So yeah, I'm actually really glad that I found those. They're not the 17-inch model. Seeing as this car had small brakes on it, it didn't come with 17s, it came with 16s. However, 17s do look better, but they're like $2,200 at the moment. So hey, once they come up, or once I find a cheap set, I'll definitely jump on them. But for now, these guys will stay. And yeah, I do have another set of wheels without rims. Do have another set of wheels without tyres. That are, yeah, they're reps, but hey, they're nice. And yeah, I'll put them on the car when I'm ready. So. Just thinking back now, it's actually pretty funny when old mate came and gave me the front bumper the night before. He actually was knocking on my front door, asking for cigarettes. He'd like, it's sort of like a screen door at the front of my house, and yeah, he's there banging and knocking and carrying on, and basically I told him to get fucked because it was like 11 o'clock at night. And yeah, he came to apologise the next day with a front bumper, rear bumper, and some of the little sort of vents. These ones down here, those ones there, but yeah, they were in silver because he had a silver car like literally like 10 years ago or something. So anyway, that was nice of him. Offered him some beers, he didn't take them. Anyway, let's get back in the car. Just thought I'd mention as well, guys, the reason for this video is basically over the past year that I've been gone, I have been accumulating a lot of parts. I did film a video to show everything that I have accumulated, but I thought, how about I go over the car, everything that I hate, because basically I've ordered all the parts to fix everything that I hate. And then, yeah, basically as I make the videos bolting the parts to the car, that's when I basically will reveal the parts that I got. So yeah, anyway, let's get into it, guys. Okay, so now that we've mentioned the wheels, let's talk about the brakes. If you can see them in behind here, you probably can't, it's pretty dark in there. So yeah, like I mentioned earlier, the early RZs did have big brakes as an option. The big brakes are really good. Apparently for the time, they were quite ahead of their time. Look, the wheels that I actually bought that I just mentioned, they don't fit the big brakes. They only fit the smaller brakes. They are like a BBS LM copy. Yeah, that only fit small brakes. So I'm going to leave them on this car. Hey, to be honest, whether I put the those wheels on the red Supra, keep the red Supra with the small brakes, and then put big brakes on this car and then change the wheels again. We'll see how I go, but yeah, small brakes for now. Okay, so down in here you can see there's a big gaping hole for where the wiring harness was supposed to go. I did rip it out because it was looking absolutely terrible. This gap here as well is for the, sorry, that gap there is for the charcoal canister. Do have one of those as well with all the piping. In saying that, was meant to go here with a bracket, and then there was a hard line that ran across, all the way across there on the firewall there, that went to the factory twin turbos. That guy there I actually had to get out of Canada. There were quite a few parts that got out of Canada, one big package. To be honest, would have been super hard to find, so yeah, really glad that I found that. Alright, just quickly here, guys, this is the wiring loom that I pulled out of the car. Just one quick example here. So that's the igniter plug there. There's normally like a big plastic cover that makes it look really nice. Yeah, that's just been broken off. Plenty of wires that are sort of just like stitched, like this guy here, stitched in anywhere. They probably do work, but hey, this kind of looks pretty bad to me. There's like the reverse plug that goes to the gearbox. That's pretty gross. The actual, where is it? This guy here is the, that's the oxygen sensor, which is basically, it was actually just sort of all taped together here. It wasn't even soldered together. So now it's just been soldered to it for now, but good news is that I've actually bought a new loom for the car. It is an OEM loom, so yeah, the main part was, this is the main connector that goes through the firewall. Just look, completely destroyed, all taped up. There's actually a bracket that goes to the firewall, which isn't on the harness anymore. This harness literally has not a single bracket left on it, so it was just hanging off of the car. So yeah, just glad that I was able to find a clean second-hand harness. Battery cables, guys. So this guy here, this is like I've tried to earth it to the igniter. This just kind of just fell out of there, which could just be crimped, but hey, I don't like that setup. I don't like these battery leads either. Clamps, sorry. So yeah, new ones of those. The yeah, actual battery sort of lead setup as well is meant to, it's meant to have like a big, thick, like sort of padding on it, which isn't there either. Someone's like stripped it off, I believe. So I'm going to try and get a new OEM loom to the battery too. Alrighty, whilst we're talking about the twin turbos here, normally there are vacuum lines that run across the top of the turbos. Good news is, guys, that I did manage to find a second-hand set of turbos that look to be in good condition. So a lot of people think, oh yeah, I can just get some twin turbos off of an Aristo or whatever. They are different. The blow-off valve is in a different position. The vacuum lines are different as well. So yeah, Aristo turbos really easy to find, usually cooked and in bad condition. But I was really lucky. I was actually able to find a set of OEM Supra turbos. And yeah, they had a lot of the piping as well. So yeah, awesome. See if we can see down here. Oh, sorry, let's go. Where is it? Oh, there she is. Oh, it was sort of focusing, but yeah, that's the Turbo Smart wastegate that you can see down there. We'll see if we can get these welds down in here as well. Right down there. Look at those welds. There she is. Try it from this angle. You can see there, that there. You can see that little bit right there, that's that welded part that goes down to the wastegate. She's down in there, there she is. Hello, g'day buddy. But yeah, like you can see here, like blocked off ports, they're definitely not OEM clamps, that's definitely not an OEM hose. There's meant to be a bracket for this throttle cable that goes here, which I have bought as well, yeah, which was missing. What else is on this side? Yeah, that's not an OEM hose, that's like a silicone hose. It doesn't really fit too nicely either. Yeah, like this blow-off valve hose is literally just because it's, yeah, there's meant to be hard lines there, so it's just like kind of chilling. Alright, this car is also missing the heat shield for the clutch master cylinder, which these pipes get fairly hot. You don't want your clutch fluid boiling, so I will order one of those as well. Yeah, crazy part about this as well is, man, like trying to find all the parts to go OEM adds up really fast. Could have gone single turbo and like a Hyperstream manifold and whatever. It definitely wouldn't have been cheaper, but I mean, damn, the money I would have saved doing this, I could have put into that. But anyway, this is what I want to do. We're going to do an OEM Plus build here, so yeah, that's it. Alright, so seeing as we're talking about the exhaust, let's go down there, because basically this car has a Blitz Spec Blitz No Spec exhaust on it. Let's have a look down here. That is him down here. As you can see, it is mounted on the piss. It is not straight. There are all these crazy brackets down there that look all bent and all that kind of stuff, so it wasn't mounted too nicely. Not to mention that that down there is a V-band that you can see. I think this is stainless piping down there. It actually is meant to run, so basically it goes to the down pipe, which used to have a cat in it, then there's a mid pipe and a rear pipe. So basically what's happened here is the down pipe had a bit of stainless welded to it, like the cast down pipe had stainless welded to it, so there's no join there. And then it goes to the mid pipe, and there's no join there now because it's been welded. And then, yeah, so the only bit that you can remove is the rear muffler, and then you can remove the section from the mid pipe all the way to basically the OEM dump, I guess, where that V-band was. So so yeah, you're gonna have to find another Blitz exhaust. Good news is that I did find a Blitz down pipe from just a local seller. So yeah, it's stainless, it works with the rest of the Blitz exhaust system, so I'm really glad that I found that too, and it was cheap. Alrighty, so this bonnet, looks like there has been some accident damage here, where the previous owner just put a super cheap auto bloody carbon scoop on there. I mean, there is an intake, there is the air cleaner below it, so hey, it has some purpose and function, but I'm pretty sure it was just to fix some crash damage there. Because yeah, when I do shut the bonnet, there is a big gap here in the bonnet, so that annoys me. Good news is that I do have a brand new OEM bonnet ready to go on as well, just needs to be painted. Whilst we're here as well, just thought I'd mention something I forgot was there is normally a bumper to hood seal that goes on here, and a bracket, which I have ordered. I do have in stock, so so yeah, basically get that guy bolted on. Not to mention, not to forget, there is a cowl seal as well that runs all the way up the back there, that the vehicle is missing. And whilst we're here, another thing that I forgot, there is no insulation on the firewall. So I don't know if the insulation for the firewall is actually available. There is one on Marketplace right now, which I've been too lazy to go and buy. To be honest, it's been advertised for ages, it might not even be there. But hey, fingers crossed it's not in the best condition, but hey, it might be worth pulling my finger out and I'm gonna go grab it. Alrighty, next part that annoys me, and this is just a general thing, not just a Supra thing. So this here is a blue silicon wiper blade. Blue wiper blades, that's not cool for one. Number two, the fact that they're silicon, when I was working at Super Cheap, I was told that they end up putting basically a layer of silicon on the screen, so then when you go and use normal wipers, they don't operate how they should. Whether it's true or not, I can't confirm. But yeah, definitely getting new wiper blades for it. Whilst we're there as well, the wiper blades are missing the caps, which I did order as well. So yeah, pretty stoked you can still get those. Okay, on the exterior of the car here, we have the quarter windows. These guys here were actually hacked up slightly. Don't know why, but basically you can see here someone's like cut, I don't know, some of the rubber, or they've done something, and that's, you know, I checked my other car and it shouldn't be like that. I don't know why they've cut it, but yeah, it looks terrible. So hey, quarter glasses aren't cheap. Hopefully hopefully some will turn up in the near future, but hey, I'm just going to have to deal with them for now. If I ever do get the car painted, which is another point that I should mention, the paint's terrible. Has been painted in the past, but yeah, it was sanded, it was wet sanded, and then yeah, it wasn't buffed, so it's kind of shiny but kind of not at the same time. Not the best paint job in the world, so yeah, one day that'll get done. Sorry, back to the quarter glass. Yeah, so yeah, if I ever do get the car painted, new weather trims and quarter glasses will be on the list. On the topic of paint, slight rust bubble. Slight rust bubble. Good news is about the Supra that rust isn't too common in Supras. They actually hold together fairly well, compared to Nissans, that is anyway. Shots fired. I do own a Nissan, and yeah, hey, it's a lot newer, and it already has started to rust in areas. So so yeah, hey, I can only go with what I own, I guess. So whilst we were on the topic of trims, there is normally a trim. There's normally a trim that runs from sort of here and down, one. And then there is a second trim that runs from roughly here, runs all the way down to that sort of rear brake pod vent looking thing. Crazy thing about that is though, that the car didn't come with them, and then I noticed they were for sale on the net, on Gumtree, probably a week or two after I bought the car. So hey, it is what it is. Cool. Last but not least about the paint, which is pretty bad. Where are we? This I saw here. Sticker on the rear bumper of the car. So not only would I not put stickers on the back of my car personally, this here actually has a hard edge on where the from where the sticker and the paint meet, which means that that sticker was actually masked around before it was painted. Cause, yeah, there's a hard edge there, and I guess our previous owner really liked that sticker. Alright boys, now we're onto the interior of the car, which I think will be one of the last parts of the car. It is half stripped, so I'll show you what I can, and yeah, let's do it. So on Supras, don't mind all that dust. It is from a weather shield, sort of, yeah, a sun shield that did deteriorate. So anyway, on Supras you will notice that this guy here is all sort of wobbly due to heat. So yeah, the dash has started to lift here, which it's not as common on this side to lift, but obviously this car's had a fairly hard life. Car says 128,000 Ks, which I don't believe, and if you believe that your thrashed JDM car actually has low kilometers, I think you're delusional. Anyway, so yeah, a little bit of dash lift here. It's not actually too bad compared to some. This steering wheel, some people say that they kind of like it. I personally don't like it, so I'm going to be going back to the OEM steering wheel. Sorry, and over here to the center console. This lid I haven't found a replacement for yet. It is sort of kind of average, but it should come up with a little bit of Armor Oil and Maguire's. Look, on the inside here there's meant to be an OEM sticker. This kind of annoys me because this sticker had some other stupid sticker over the top of it, but the Toyota sticker that's below it is not available from Toyota anymore. So in saying that, this center console piece here, this sort of whole unit, I actually had to buy another one, because as you can see down here, there's 1, 2, 3, there's a few brackets down here, and they were all busted and broken, and this bit was hanging off out here because that bracket was broken, and people told me to glue it, and there's no way that was happening. So yeah, anyway, yeah, one of the last bits I'll need to get is a new manual surround, because yeah, mine didn't have the what's it called, didn't have the little leather piece in there. Yeah, whilst we're here, I have bought new haven't bought a new shifter, which I should. Definitely want a new gear knob, because this is just an Autobahn drift trash carbon fiber gear knob, which I really don't like. I want an OEM 6-speed gear knob, to be honest. There's normally, yeah, a rubber seal here, there's actually 3 of them. There's one that goes to the body, one that covers here, and then one that covers the shifter. Yeah, I will be getting those from Japan as well. So yeah, what's the last bit about the interior that I don't like is that the rubber coating on the interiors start to go pretty, like they get marked and scratched because they're rubber and they kind of fade a bit, and people, you know, sand them all back and take off all the coating and paint themselves, which I have done in a previous video in this satin black. It doesn't look too bad. However, I definitely would prefer the OEM bits. So yeah, I actually have inside, you know, if I get a new manual surround, I actually have an OEM looking piece for the center here. Then I would just need the, I think it's the Speedo surround and the upper bit and this part here. So, you know, the parts for these cars are ridiculously priced. So yeah, I don't know when I'll be finding them or if I will at a price that I want to pay. So, so yeah, I think that's it for the interior. It's actually not too bad in here. The rear seat's pretty good. No, sorry. Let's not forget the carpet. So this is Series 1 carpet's all grey. Normally the hood lining is grey and normally the sun visors are grey. This has got a Series 2 hood liner and visors in it, which, hey, that's not too bad. I guess I can deal with that. But the fact that it has grey carpet, that's okay. Sorry, that's okay. But the grey carpet has been someone's tried to dye it black. So yeah, I don't know if you can see down here. So yeah, grey, you can see all the lines, and it's kind of trying to be grey, trying to be black on the side there. And yeah, definitely not happy with that. So yeah, new carpet would be nice. So, once again, the door cards are okay. One hole here. I think there is a hole in my driver's seat somewhere. Passenger side actually isn't too bad. Look, once again, parts are too dear. I just paying $1,000 for like munted door cards that aren't even complete. Like, I'm just not doing it. So yeah, they can stay. This interior, to be honest, like apart from like the dash ripples, everything else like I can pretty much deal with. It's just the ripples in the dash that make it look pretty bad. To be honest with you, when you're driving the car at night, not that I have, but hey, I've sat in the car at night, it pretty much hides most of it, and you sort of feel like you're in something pretty clean. So so yeah, hey, it is a 93 model car. It can't be perfect. So yeah, but I'll do what I can to try and make it as OEM and perfect as I can. To a degree, you know what I mean. Okay, we're in the boot. There is bits everywhere. So one of the bad things was that there is a plastic piece that goes across here that was broken. So I have bought a new one. It's just sitting somewhere not inside the car. I don't know where it is. I do have all the boot plastics to left to right. They're fine. This side was actually broken. So I did buy another one, which this one's actually fairly mint. So I'm very happy with that. In the boot here, where are we? That's hidden under here. You can see those little Velcro lines. Someone's obviously had a subwoofer in there at some point and Velcroed it to the carpet. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get that off the carpet, but that kind of annoys me because that boot mat was actually fairly good condition. So yeah, not too happy with that, but what do you do? So yeah, in an upcoming video, I'm going to just check out what fuel pump this car actually has in it and my other car has in it, because when I got into this quarter panel here, you can see here, this is the fuel pump ECU wiring, which has all been hacked and cut. I'll lay it over the top of this video, but basically it runs down here, and this goes all the way through here, all the way to the fuel hat. This is all fine, but this here is hacked, and there was actually a relay in here for a 12 volt like a 12 volt fuel pump mod that was done, that ran from there all the way through the front of the car to the battery. So I'll quickly put it in here as well. So basically the wiring for the fuel pump mod looked kind of gross, and the fuel pump actually stayed on constantly. These vehicles have a fuel pump ECU in them, which run 6 volt on idle, and I think once they get to 4,000 RPM, it actually switches to 12 volt. However, if you do put a bigger fuel pump in the car, you do need to run probably heavier gauge wiring, and you want 12 volt at all times. Otherwise, it's not going to put out the fuel that you need. This car does have a 345 litre an hour fuel pump in it, so that's why the modification would have been done. But there is a way to do it properly, where when you turn the ignition, the fuel pump actually turns off. Like, instead of being on constant, really loud, really noisy, it primes and then switches itself off, and then then turns on when it's needed. So I'm going to be reverting all that to OEM. Hopefully I can find an OEM fuel pump. that can go in there, or some sort of upgraded fuel pump that doesn't actually, that will work with the fuel pump ECU. So another part I nearly forgot, boys, PCV valve. When I got the car was non-existent. As you can see down here, there is like weird looking sort of fuel hoses that have been blocked off. Car definitely needs a PCV valve, so we'll be adding one of those. Crazy part is I actually tried I actually bought a PCV valve and a hose and attached it, and then same on the whereas on the turbo side there was a hose there that went from the covers to the intake piping, sort of the turbo intake piping. Then after that, I don't know whether it was after a drive or after I did the mod, but basically the car started misfiring. So most of all of this stuff that I've been doing is actually hunting a misfire, hence the reason the wiring, hence the reason the exhaust leaks, because those twins with those bird shit welds definitely does leak and sounds horrible. So yeah, I've had the car for like 2 years and haven't been able to drive it, all because of a dirty misfire. So fingers crossed that once we get all these parts in and bolted in, that the car runs mint and OEM like it should. All right, boys, to summarize, so we've been pretty much over the whole car. We basically know now that the plan for the car is that I do want to go OEM plus. Everything OEM plus. I mean, so engine bay I want as OEM as possible. Interior I want as OEM as possible, bar like a head unit and some speakers. So exterior is pretty much going to be OEM. I would like a MVP V2 front lip for the car. I've actually got an active aero front lip for the car. Whether it goes on this or the Reb one, I'm not too sure, but they're super duper rare. It's crazy that I got one of those. But so pretty much try and keep the front OEM, the engine bay OEM, interior OEM, exterior OEM except for a front lip. Run an OEM boost and then just take it for a drive pretty much. Like I said, all the parts are on the way. I've got most of them here, but I still do have a massive list that I need, like the little hoses and clips, and there's still a lot that I need to get from Japan. So I probably won't be here for like another month or two because of Christmas and that kind of stuff. And the list that I had to make up, I literally had to make up an Excel spreadsheet to do this, guys. So just to keep track of everything. There's so many bits, and just like it sounds a little bit OCD, but hey, when I want to be able to open my engine bay and get inside my car and not cringe every time that I get into it, So anyway, guys, I think that's going to pretty much wrap up the video here. Please like the video if you liked it. Comment down the bottom if there's anything that I missed you wanted to see in the car, or anything you want to know about the car. Please just let me know. And subscribe to the channel if you like what you see. Tell a friend, tell your neighbor, I don't know, just we're at like 264 subscribers right now. My last video I did like a 1JZ chaser timing belt. That's another thing, I've got to do the timing belt in this. I'll put it in there quickly. It's got a blue Gates timing belt on it, which just like every time I saw it, it's blue and it's got black marks on it, and I don't know, it really frustrated me seeing it. So I'm going to get rid of that, and did a 1J timing belt on a chaser with my mate Ben, and the car runs and drives. So now I've got the confidence to do this car and my red car at some point. So that's coming up in the videos to come as well. So if you want to see all that kind of stuff, subscribe to the channel. Means a lot. Trying to get to that 1,000 subs, guys. 1,000 subs, 4,000 watch hours. That's what we need. Man, help a brother out if you can. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Peace out. See you in the next one.